one way to warm your hands up. Burn them on the candle. Good morning. Good day, I mean. Thank you, CJ, for reminding me. Well, it's a little bit warmer this morning. All right. We're getting there. We see in the forecast, at least for the next few days, it's going to actually get up to 80, I think Wednesday or Thursday. But again, we'll be in St. Augustine, and that will be a little bit cooler because we'll be right on or near the ocean. Thanks for chiming in. I'm starting a little bit early. I think I'm losing track of time. However, my cough is getting better. I'm feeling good. Getting used to the layout here. As soon as I get used to it, we go somewhere else. That's the way of a missionary, right? I want to thank all those who are working towards those, assisting others. When I say those, I mean other people who are looking for guidance during these upside down times. I think I'm all set here. Let's begin with morning prayers, and we'll continue the lesson on reparation. Again, it's a time where we're going to probably need it. I know they say that in the Jewish calendar, 2024 began year 6000. So that's probably significant to some extent, and I don't know what event 6,000 years ago happened that would do that, but we do know the event that happened when Deam Matronam Nostrae and Deum Jesum Christum appeared as adults and corrected the ways that mankind was following, the error of their ways. And Deum Jesum Christum gave us the Mass, which is what we are representing here. And I am doing that in persona Christum. So let's continue with reparation, because that was what was taught by both Deam Matronam Nostrae and Deum Jesum Christum, because of the suffering that only a mother can know when her child is being tortured or abused, etc. I mean, when I think of my children and I think of the time where they are suffering and there's nothing that I can do about it, it's heart-wrenching. You all know that. You younger men probably not. However, the ladies that are here, I'm sure they do. All right, let's start with morning prayers and we'll get to the reparation. It is a little bit warmer today than yesterday. Thanks be to Deum. In nomine Deum, Matronam Nostrae, Deum Jesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of God, and in Catholic contemplation, humbly adore the Trinitarian Theophany. And by the way, Mass in St. Augustine will not be in a tent. I'm going to find a place inside. My wife has treated us to an Airbnb. It's interesting, the whole story. We'll see what happens, but we did get confirmation that we are supposed to be there. Most holy and venerable Trinity, one God and three divine beings, I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O God, relying on thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain the pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum and Deum Matronam Nostrae. O God, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us also welcome any new subscribers who are watching, and any viewers for that matter. You don't have to subscribe to watch, obviously. It helps get it out to more viewers if you do subscribe and like on YouTube. That's their plan. We're on Satan's platform, and we're finding those who are wandering around seeking to get out of there. Luckily, we're not affected by their platform in a soul sense. Let us thank God for the many graces that we receive and offer ourselves in our sufferings up to the Trinitarian Theophany. O God, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, O God, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, and that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good. And let us beg of God the graces which are necessary to us. And when I say avoid evil and to do good, the good which we talk about is the virtues. Okay, it's not the good of the world, which is, save the planet and all that sort of, twisted good. Let us beg of God the graces which are necessary to us. O God, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, O God, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O God, Our Lady, O Holy Mother of God, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O my God, I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell, but most of all because I have offended thee, my God, who art good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. Don't forget to print your little pamphlet out so you can follow along the Mass in English, so you can understand what's being said and done. And you can get a copy of that, a PDF copy, on the website ourladyisgod.com, and you go to the Ask the Bishop page, which is on the left, in the left-hand column. The life of reparation in all those who have a heavy cross to carry. If the priest ought to be another Christ, Deum Jesum Christum, the simple Catholic should also, quote, take up his cross daily and offer his sufferings in union with the sacrifice of Deum Jesum Christum perpetuated on the altar. He ought to offer them for himself and for the souls for whose salvation he should work. St. Benedict Joseph Labre was not a priest. He did not share in the real sense of the word in the priesthood of Christ, Deum Jesum Christum, but he shared largely in his state as a victim. As much must be said of many spouses of Deum Jesum Christum, who share in his sufferings and find therein a profound spiritual motherhood, like that of Dea Matronum Nostrae, which is a reflection of the spiritual maternity of Deum Jesum Christum in relation to souls redeemed by the blood of her Son. Dea Matronum Nostrae did not receive. She was not a partaker. Her role, let's just say, in the Trinitarian Theophany was not as a consecrator of the Holy Eucharist. However, she penetrated the mystery of our altars far more than did any apostle. By Deum's interior suffering at the sight of the nascent heresies that denied the divinity of her Son, she was the the most holy mother, most godly holy mother of souls, unimaginable without profound experience in this hidden apostolate. She thus continued the sacrifice of her Son, Deum Jesum Christum. A servant of God who lived by this truth for a long time said to us, the mystical body of Deum Jesum Christum can no more live without suffering than our eyes without the light of the sun. On earth, the nearer a soul is to God, that is, the more it loves, the more it is dedicated to suffering. For souls that have received everything from the Church, is it not a noble vocation to live and immolate themselves for their mother, for God their mother? The same valiant religious said also, patience is necessary, but I shall win her. Patience, that is. Deum Jesum Christum will win her. I always say to him, Deum Jesum Christum, I want that soul at the cost of no matter what suffering. Unquote. Another quote, until the end of the world, Deum Jesum Christum will agonize in his members, and it is by these sufferings and this agony that the Church, his spouse, will bring forth saints. Since the death of Deum Jesum Christum, the law has not changed. Souls are saved only by suffering and dying for them. The eternally glorified heart of Deum Jesum Christum will suffer no more. It can no longer suffer. Henceforth, it is our turn. What happiness that is, our turn, and no longer his to suffer now. Unquote. Deum Jesum Christum causes these repertory souls to hear words such as these. Have you not asked me for a share in my passion? Choose. Do you wish the joy of unclouded faith, ravishing you and flooding your soul with delights? Or do you wish darkness, suffering, which will make you cooperate in the salvation of souls? Unquote. Deum Jesum Christum invites such souls to choose quite freely, but, as if powerless to resist, they abandon joy and choose suffering with all its darkness, so that light, sanctity, and salvation may be given to others. From time to time, God allows them to see the hardness of hearts, and at certain times hell seems unchained to tear from them an act of despair. They fight for hours. It is a struggle of spirit against spirit. At no matter what cost, they must follow the Master, Deum Jesum Christum, to the end. Not the Master, God. He lets them understand with increasing clearness that he expects from them love of scorn and complete destruction, like that of the grain of wheat cast into the earth, which must die, that it may bring forth much fruit. This life of reparation is that of souls called to the intimate service of Deum Jesum Christum and the Trinitarian Theophany as a whole. Such is the sign of perfect love as it is described in the dialogue of St. Catherine of Siena. Quote, "This is seen by the same sign that was given to the holy disciples after they had received Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, not fearing pain, but rather glorying therein. Through this charity, which is of Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, the soul participates in his will, fortifying her own." Unquote. In the same book we read, as Deum Jesum Christum, who is speaking, quote, "These I say, as if enamored of my honor, and famished for the food of souls, run to the table of the most holy cross, willing to suffer pain and endure much for the service of the neighbor, and despairing to preserve and acquire the virtues, bearing in their body the stigmata of Deum Jesum Christum crucified, causing the crucified love which is theirs to shine, being visible through self-contempt and delighted endurance of the shames and vexations on every side. Such as these follow the Immaculate Deum Jesum Christum, who was both blessed and sorrowful on the cross. These souls, thrown into the furnace of my charity, no part of their will remaining outside, but the whole of them being inflamed in me, are like a brand wholly consumed in the furnace, that no one can take hold of it to extinguish it, because it has become fire. In the same way, no one can seize these souls or draw them outside of me." Unquote. These words need to be contemplated and understood as coming from the Trinitarian Theophany as a whole, but from the different aspects. This is perfect configuration to Deum Jesum Christum. It is, in the life of reparation, the transforming union which has become fruitful and radiating. It is the participation in the state of Deum Jesum Christum as victim, and even in saints who have not received the priesthood properly, so called. It is a very close union with the eternal priest, in which